Hi guys, it's Charlotte. Welcome back to the vlog. Happy Vlogmas day 15. Today's video, we're doing something that I've never done before. This is going to be a what I spend in a week as a college student. Y'all, I have seen these videos. I wanted to do one for a really long time and now here we are, and you know what? It was genuinely really scary. I consider myself to be pretty financially responsible. I try really hard to only spend money when I need to. I try not to make impulse purchases. I try not to ever spend more money than I have, and I'm very fortunate to be in a position and have a job where I have money to spend. So I went into this week thinking I wasn't gonna spend that much money, and boy was I wrong. If you guys are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Charlotte. I am a senior at the University of Michigan and I do a lot of college and lifestyle and productivity content here on YouTube. So if that sounds like something that's up your alley, make sure you go subscribe to the channel down below. I'd love to have you join the family. So from the past week, I tracked from Monday to Sunday every dime that I spent on everything. So we're gonna be going through it day by day. I'm gonna be telling you guys the exact amount of money that I spent on each purchase that I made on each day of the week. And then at the very end, we're gonna total it all up together and see how much I spent in 1 week as a college senior. So before I tell you guys about everything that I spent this week, I wanted to quickly thank the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. I have worked with Skillshare in the past. I think their platform is really amazing and I think you guys will love it too. So Skillshare is an online platform that's made for creative people by creative people. They have thousands upon thousands of lessons that you can watch to learn new skills or build on the skills that you already have. And there's an endless supply of topics from learning how to paint to learning how to budget, which is exactly what I'm going to be using Skillshare for going forward. I apparently need a lot of help budgeting, but that's the great thing about Skillshare is that they have so many different videos for so many different topics. One video I have found particularly helpful already as I am trying to get myself to budget is Budgeting 101 by Brainy Money. This video is really quick, really simple. It makes budgeting really easy to understand. You get a free budget template, which is amazing. You don't have to do any extra work. You can just jump right in and start filling in your numbers. And that's what I'm going to be doing after this video because Lord knows, apparently I need it. So if you guys are interested in giving Skillshare a try for yourself, I've got a link down in the description for you. The first 1,000 people to click the link down below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, which includes access to all of their thousands upon thousands of videos and tutorials. And another huge shout out and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, without any further ado, let's get into everything that I spent in a week. Good morning, happy Monday. I'm heading to Panera to get lunch. This is gonna be the first purchase of the day. Okay, so my week ended up being pretty light on the front end, which is kind of why I got lulled into this like false sense of security about like I wasn't gonna spend that much money. The first half of the week was very slim. I didn't spend that much money. It was very reasonable in my humble opinion. It was very reasonable for my lifestyle, and I was thinking like, wow, this really isn't gonna be that impressive of a video. It's just gonna be me, you know, little expenses throughout the week. And then we got to the end of the week and oh boy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're starting out with Monday. On Monday, I had 2 charges. One of them I actually wasn't aware of until just now when I was compiling everything all together in my little spreadsheet. So first up, I had Panera for lunch. That was $11.54. If you guys have seen any of my college day or week in my life videos, you know that I love going to get lunch between classes. It's just really convenient. It's way more convenient for me to go out to a restaurant and get lunch rather than to come back to my apartment and cook something. So I spent $11.54 at Panera, and then I also got charged for an Uber that I took over the weekend. It just like didn't charge fully until Monday. So I guess we're counting it for this. I had a $16.96 charge for Uber on Monday as well. And those two together came out to $28.50 for Monday. Like I said, you know, for me, for the lifestyle that I lead and for the things that I was doing on Monday and over the weekend, I felt like that was a very reasonable amount of money to spend in one day. Tuesday was a very similar situation. I had a couple more charges on Tuesday, but they were also smaller. All ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come let us adore him. Come let on Tuesday, I had my 3-hour class, which is always a treat. But during that class, because it's so long, we get a break in the middle where my friend Gabby and I usually go get snacks or a bottle of water or something, and that's exactly what I did on this day. So during the break, I went to the vending machine, I got a bottle of water, which was $2.10, and I got a bag of chips, which was $1.60. Then also during that little break between like halves of the class, I ran into a couple of my friends who were fundraising for one of their clubs, and I decided to buy one of the little goodie bags that they were selling, and that was $3. And then later that night, to finish out the day, I went out to dinner with some of my friends. We went to Potbelly Sandwich Shop, which if you've been here since the beginning of the school year, you know I used to go there all the time. I love their sandwiches. And I spent $16.80 on my meal at Potbelly. So that brings my overall total for Tuesday to $23.50. Again, very reasonable, even less than I spent on Monday. Wednesday was the same type of deal. I was back at Panera for Wednesday because I have the same exact schedule on Mondays and Wednesdays, so it works out. I went back to Panera for lunch. Spent a little bit less on lunch though today. My lunch was only $8.25. I think I got less food on Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, I was also out of snacks, so I headed over to Walgreens and picked up some groceries. That ended up coming out to $14.92, which brings the grand total for Wednesday up to $23.17. Doubled down on Thursday. I actually didn't spend any money on Thursday at all. This just worked out where I hung out with some friends on Thursday, and every time it just so happened that like they would pay for all of our stuff. So like my friend Erin came over and she brought us Starbucks, but she paid for the Starbucks. And then later that night, I got crumble cookies with my roommates, but my roommate Rose paid for everyone's cookies. So I was, you know, I would have been spending money, but people were very generous and they paid for me. So I didn't actually spend any of my own money on Thursday. Friday is where things start ramping up a little bit. A lot of it. So Friday morning, I went to a little cafe with my friend Gabby. I got a little smoothie and like a muffin. That ended up being $6.50. And then on Friday, I had my November credit card bill due. That credit card bill was $407.23. That's definitely a little bit higher than I usually spend on like my monthly credit card bill, but I had made a very large purchase in November. It was a Christmas gift for one of my family members, which accounted for like 75% of that bill. I wish I could say that my December credit card bill is going to be smaller, but we haven't talked about Sunday yet, so it won't be. So that brings my grand total for Friday to $413.74. This was the point in the video where I was thinking, okay, that'll be my big purchase day. Nay, nay. Saturday ended up being a bit of a lighter day, which was nice. My bank account needed a little bit of time to recover from Friday. So on Saturday, my roommate Morgan and I went to go see a show that my other roommate Edie was acting in, and we had to pay for parking. So I paid $6 for parking on Saturday. Then I also made an Amazon purchase on Saturday that was $51.99, but that actually ended up not costing me anything because I'd made some returns earlier in the month and the money just got credited back to my Amazon account, which like acted like a gift card sort of thing. So that $51.99 just got taken out of my Amazon account balance. So I did spend the money at one point, but then it got refunded to my account and then I just used it for something else. So I don't really know whether to count that in like my grand total or not. If we don't count it, my grand total for Saturday was only $6. If we do count it, my grand total for Saturday is $57.99. So I mean, it's a $52 difference. It's not huge, but I mean, $50 is $50. Like that's a good amount of money. Okay, and then the final day of the week, Sunday, this ended up being a big spending day for me. I wasn't actually planning on spending any money on Sunday, and then and then. On Sunday, I decided to go grab cookies for myself and my roommates. We were all studying for finals. It was just really stressful, and I was out and about anyway, walked past the cookie shop. This was in my Sunday reset vlog that I posted last week. Swung by Detroit Cookie Company, which is a bakery in Ann Arbor that is so delicious. And I ended up spending $12.72 on half a dozen cookies. I also swung through 7-Eleven for some groceries that ended up being $11.98. And then I also swung by the MDen, which is the University of Michigan's official merch store for students and fans. And I grabbed lots and lots of Michigan merch as Christmas gifts for my family. And that ended up being $377.67. That one hurt a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And that brought my grand total for Sunday up to $402.37. So when you add everything up, this past week, I spent $897.28. If you include the extra $51.99 that I spent on Amazon, but was kind of iffy, then you get $955.27. Whichever number you go with, it was so much more than I was expecting to spend in a week. I think the credit card payment and the MDen purchases really threw me over the edge. Those were by far my biggest purchases. Everything else was like 20-30 bucks a day, and then you're throwing in like $400 purchases in there. That tends to, you know, drive up the number. I think this video definitely made me a little bit more aware of my spending. Like I said in the beginning, I try to be very aware of the amount of money that I'm spending. I try not to spend my money on impulse purchases or things that I don't need, but I don't regret anything that I bought in this past week. A lot of it ended up being food. Like a good chunk of it was food. You need food to live. Like I said, I could probably do more meal prepping and cooking here in the apartment, but then that money would just end up going towards groceries, and I feel like it would all even out anyway. I don't know if this is an accurate amount of money that I would spend in your average week. Like I said, my credit card payment was a little bit higher than it might be in a typical month because of some Christmas presents that I'd bought, and I am not going around and regularly dropping $375 on Michigan merch, but that's just what happened this week. So if I had to guess, I would say that my weekly spending is probably a little bit less than this. You never know. One week it might be way lower, one week it might be higher. You know, the weeks that I'm paying rent, it's definitely higher. But that is everything that I spent in this week. Let me know in the comments down below if the final number was higher or lower than you were expecting. I also just want to reiterate that I'm very grateful to have this kind of money to spend. I don't take this amount of money lightly. I know that that is quite a lot of money, and I feel very fortunate that I have that at my disposal. I'm not trying to make light of anything. I also would never want to imply that this is like the average spending of every college student. Like, everyone is different, everyone has different experiences. This is just my experience. I'm sure every student at the University of Michigan spends different amounts of money. I'm sure there are people that spend less than me, and I'm sure that there are people that spend more than me. But this was just like a fun little experiment to see how much money I actually spend in a week. I thought this was really fun. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see more videos like it, make sure you leave a like on it for me down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Another huge shout out and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Remember that the first 1,000 people to click the link down in the description will get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. And that is going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.